into this. Are you two together or not?
No.
That was quite interesting because when Ibrahim was asked that question, he said yes. So for Zayn to say no is actually quite crazy business. But maybe because he thinks that maybe there's a chance of them two getting back together at some point. Really and truly, why he would want to let her back in is wild. But at the same time, if he really is somebody that is desperate to use her for her money, maybe even to use her to be in the UK on a permanent basis, but then it makes sense why he would want to be with her and why he would say, yes, we are together, in the hopes that she's going to agree. When clearly, Zaynab made it abundantly clear in the last episode and in this episode that when it comes to being committed in relations properly, she wants none of that. She just enjoys exploring life. And that's probably the most non-explicit way to say that. But nonetheless, though, we continue.
I'm a Muslim, but he can touch her, unmarried and everything.
Was you celibate before you got married then?
The same with Sam. Did you wait? Did you wait until you...
And obviously you can see Sam shaking her head. It's crazy because Ali is not the first person who is who is a Muslim who has tried to call out another Muslim man for being intimate or sexual in any kind of format with his woman before marriage. I don't know why he thought that'd be a good idea. I don't know why he thought that it was okay for him to become a hypocrite. But clearly Sam was like, yeah, but we actually did do it. Honestly, I just don't get why they bothered, to be honest. But either way, I really want to know if anyone that's a Muslim in the comment section, like, please let me know, like, how many people do you know, or how many men do you know, even women for that matter, that legit actually stick to celibacy before marriage? You know, because clearly a lot of people in today's world break it. And if you do break it, what are the actual consequences? Because people seem to be doing it and that's it. No consequences. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, but let's continue.
Married before you... Oh, but
Yeah,
Sam's shaking her head saying no. That...
You know, I
So is this your page?
I just spend small time on this.
Single divorced women over 40 and 50 looking for relationship and marriage. Women dating single online. And how do you feel about seeing this?
In a way...
Before we even get into Zaynab's response, it's actually crazy business because obviously earlier in the season, we saw that Ibrahima had an account on Facebook before and obviously had women that he was following. And of course, this is something that Zaynab did ask him about. And it's something that he did deny and he definitely did downplay it. Obviously, fast forward, it looks like there's more information that's now been found of him having another page with women by it. And obviously, as you saw, women obviously in different groups as well, which is nothing but just crazy, nasty business. Maybe he's on this journey of trying to convince one of these women to actually marry him so he can get the benefits of that marriage and whatever those benefits would be. But clearly, his task of trying to marry random women clearly is failing to this point. And I guess he's going to continue going on this journey. It's completely horrible. It's just a complete mess. Oh God. Just imagine all that time he puts into making a Facebook account to try and court women. He could be putting all that energy into trying to actually earn a business or start a business in Gambia that can actually give him, you know, a very good lifestyle, if you know what I mean. But people and their life choices, diabolical.
I don't really mind because I'm confident in myself not to really be bothered, to be fair.
It's funny that she says that, but yet at the beginning of the season, she was definitely not confident in herself because she was definitely still looking to confront him about this situation. In fact, throughout the season, she would be 1 minute, she's all pumped up to confront him, say, okay, this shouldn't be happening, obviously taking advice from her granddaughter, and then all of a sudden, she's then backtracking and saying, oh no, I don't think he meant it, or I don't think he did this, da-da-da-da-da. Obviously, Zaynab is, she's a very challenging person to figure out. Because 1 minute you think that she's on the ball, and the next minute she's backtracking and contradicting the situation. Honestly, when it comes to delusional in this season, it's a competition between Shauna and Zena. But when we get to Shauna, we'll definitely then decide who we believe, or at least who I believe is the, our most delusional cast member of this season.
Did you make this page when you was with Zena?
No, not at all.
So when did you make it?
This was before.
Was he the first Gambian
This was before. The question is, even though it was before, they're still active to this day.
boyfriend you've had?
Yes, definitely, 100%.
This photo was spotted on your social media.
Oh, my friend. Yeah.
Is it like friend or is it friend?
No, just friend. He's a beach bum. He lives off...
Suggest a
And to be fair, Ibrahim confirms that yes, this is just a friend, but Ibrahim also knows him too, which was quite interesting.
Gambian man.
Ooh.
Overnight to buy my own wedding ring.
I'm all of a shake. I don't know why I've let it happen. I went to his village to meet children under two. It's made me feel sick. I come back to my friend's apartment. I've got a cream soda and a bit of cheese and some bread. Don't know why I let it happen, but
Ina.
yeah, that was a skit that I did for a joke. I thought
It's crazy because obviously that same skit is something that obviously, you know, we did upload on this channel exposing Zaynab of obviously being a sex tourist. But obviously she's out here saying that first and foremost, that guy, the first guy, was just a friend, and that video was her making a skit. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously she made that skit throughout this time when the show was airing, so there is a chance that she obviously was watching some of the reviews, some of the feedback, and maybe she did decide to troll us, and she ended up making that video, you know, and made it seem as if it was a real and maybe something that happened currently in time or in the past, but she's obviously now saying it was nothing but a skit to pretty much play a joke on us in a nutshell. The question is, folks, do you believe that video is a skit to play a joke on us because of the assumptions that we had? Or do you believe that she's just trying to cover up her tracks, that the video was legit, but just doesn't want to look like a clown, so therefore she's now telling us it's a skit? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, please.
it was funny.
Anything you want to explain to people who feel like they've been led along?
If they've been led along, then they shouldn't have been, because I did it purely as a joke.
But she has to bear in mind, we don't know you, so how the hell would we known that it was a joke? 100% you led us all along, come on now, she knows this, but yeah, Zaynab with the poker face.
Holiday at the end of this month. I mean, it's a shame for Ibrahim, but I will have my eye out for any nice men. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, isn't it?
So Zaynab is now back on the prowl. She's obviously now going to go to her next destination, where she's going to find her next victim. And funny enough, she did say that this is how she's always been. So literally her whole life, she's literally just gone from dating guy to guy to guy, traveling from country to country to country. And she wants to deny that she's a sex tourist? Yeah, about that. To be fair, listen, I give credit to her confidence within herself, but she should just own it more. Do you know what I mean? Just own the fact that you like to go around and have a little bit of fun and you don't like the idea of commitment in any shape or form. It is what it is. But nonetheless, though, let's get into the next part that happened, because, boy, this tell-all definitely decided to go places. But obviously, that's something they're going to find out the more we obviously, you know, dive into this video.
Shauna, why did you not tell Adnan about being a Mormon?
We were in contact with each other for 2 or 3 months at a time.
You weren't in contact?
No. So at that time, I found God and I thought that was the right path for myself. So
All right, cool. So these two obviously were in and out of communication, obviously, within that year time where she obviously decided to become a Mormon. All right, cool. But because of the because of the conversation they were having in and out, she then never had the chance to actually tell him that she had now converted. Okay. Before I say my own opinion on that, let's play a little bit more.
I become a Mormon and I got baptized. I said, "Where have you been?" He says to me, "Oh, I had problems." And I would say to him, "But I'm your girlfriend. Why not share those problems with me?" Because there was slightly hope that we could work through things.
Kayla, what?
You know what the maddest thing is? The question itself in particular that was asked by the presenter, and also shout out to Judy Love. And that's another thing I want to say. So far, we've had 3 tell-alls for 90 Day Fiancé UK, and we've had 3 different hosts. I actually like the fact that they bring in different people to host, to be fair. I feel like it really gives us a different spice. And so far, every single person that they've brought in has been a comedian too, which has been brilliant. But nonetheless, though, America takes some note. But with that being said, though, let's continue. So the question itself here that Shauna was actually asked was, you know, why did it take you a year to actually tell him that he was a Mormon? So end of the day, she also starts off by letting us know that to begin with, they wasn't really talking, so therefore there was gaps between obviously when they were talking within the months. All right, cool. But you're telling me that each and every time you had a gap of not talking to each other, that moment when you did talk to each other, you never ever took that chance to say, you know what, I just need to let you know that I'm now this. Because let's not forget, when the season started, they obviously had not seen each other for a year. And then she even said that she had become a Mormon, but she wasn't going to tell him until she arrived in, I think they met in Greece, right? Obviously, he's from Albania, but I think they met in Greece. But either way, though, she had an opportunity, a flat opportunity to tell this man before even coming. Even before they even decided for her to book a flight to go meet him there, she could have said, just so you know, this is the situation. So the fact that she's actually dodged that question is crazy business, you know what I mean? And the fact that she wasn't even impressed for that answer is even more crazy business. But the thing is, though, Shauna played her role this whole tell as a way of somebody that was a woman that was seeking sympathy, that had been done wrong by a man. And honestly, the other thing that really annoyed me was the fact that when they showed the clip of what happened in last week's episode, or whichever episode that she was in, where she threw the drink at Adnan, and the crazy thing about it, people were like, oh, I see what you went through, da-da-da-da-da. Hold on a minute, are we not going to pull up the fact that she threw a drink at somebody, which is abuse? If Adam had done that to her, the conversation would have been completely different, okay? He would have been called out for obviously being physically abusive because he's a man. And also on top of that, prior to her actually going to Albania to see him, she went there with every intention to try and make things work. But when she got there, she realized that he did not want anything to work. Because obviously he said, I'm done, pretty much. And then obviously she then flipped it and made it seem as if she went there with the intentions of leaving him. So therefore he ended up just gaslighting at that point and just laughing at her thinking, is this woman not hearing me like right now? I just said to you they were done. But yet now she's trying to tell me that we're done. Make it make sense. So therefore, he just started obviously taunting her, which respectfully was not the right thing to do. But the matter of the fact is, though, the fact that every single person that tell her decided to give her credit and say, oh my God, well done, you stood up for yourself. What the hell was she standing up for? The man broke up with her. Do you see what I'm saying? It'd be different if she went there with the intentions of breaking up with him, to stand up against him. But hold on a minute. When she saw him in Greece, that time when she saw him there to the time she went back to Albania to see him, that whole time again, he avoided talking to her. He was ignoring her. And then she kept calling and calling and calling. And then even when she was like, I'll come to see you, he was like, maybe. I don't know. He made it abundantly clear that he wasn't really bothered about it. But she forced everything to happen. The woman is nothing but delusional. She is the most delusional cast member of this season between her and Zaina. You couldn't tell me otherwise. But hey, maybe. But either way, though, let me know your opinions and you might convince me. But nonetheless, though, I was definitely disappointed by the people, by all the cast members that was there, because really and truly, nah, this woman just knows how to play this narrative of where she's the innocent person in the picture, when in reality, she's throwing drinks at people and forcing people to allow her to go to their country so they can, see her or whatever dumb nonsense was going on. And to be fair, the fact that her daughter said that she felt like Adnan was using her to get to get a visa was weird to me. Not once did Adam really talk about going to the UK, to be honest with you. It wasn't something that he really cared for. And if he was going to use it, then trust me, sex or no sex, he would have made it happen. Do you see what I'm saying? He didn't want to be with Sean anymore because she's a liar. She withheld information. It's that simple. Anyway, we move on to the next one. Yes. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, please, folks. Come on now.
He's changing. He's saying this. But I cannot believe, because I met him.
You're saying, right, sister, you would not want her to be with him?
No, I don't.
Is this
Trying to be a stepfather, but I don't think he's going to be a stepfather, He doesn't want to be.
To be honest with you, the fact that, he was definitely giving the kids a hard time, you know what I mean? Even giving Sandra a hard time, obviously, about being a stepfather and whatnot. I will never understand how that was not a deal breaker for her. I would love to actually have a conversation with Sandra to why she decided to stay with Finn, regardless of the fact that he did not want to be a stepfather from the get-go, okay? The fact that she had to wait for him to be convinced is just crazy business, because at the end of the day, regardless of whether her sister was involved or not, her sister gave an opinion or not, it doesn't change the fact that he made it abundantly clear to her that this whole kid thing wasn't something that he really cared for, and wasn't something that he wanted to do. So that part was something that was definitely missing from the storyline. So I would love to know about that bit. But hey, either way though, the sisters had her say. Sandra still decided to ignore the sister, and well, her and Finn are still together. And Finn, even though he's lost a bunch of weight, he has been unable to buy himself new clothes because the clothes he's got on are baggy as hell. But anyway, that's another situation.
Genuinely change or change perspective in that time?
So, the engagement? What's the situation?
Yeah, so it's a kind of a yes, but it's complicated kind of thing.
It's kind of a yes, but it's complicated type thing. But that's just funny business, man. Funny business. I don't know what's so complicated about a yes in an engagement. See if you engage or you're not. But hey, let's get into the nitty and gritty.
Yeah, rather than she's coming here.
So would you say that's what's next for you to possibly move to Brazil?
I think, as you saw and as you can probably sense, it is small steps for me. I'm ready to be a stepdad. These changes are big enough for me in that space of time.
You know what though? When Finn talks, I feel like when he's talking, he's convinced that everything that he's saying is actually acceptable. Now, I'm not saying it's not acceptable, but the matter of fact is, though, for me personally, I just find it very, very strange that Sandra was okay to wait around for a guy, not only to be okay with being a stepfather to her kids, but also to be okay with moving to Brazil, which of course that bit isn't as much of a big a deal as the first situation, right? But my point is that their relationship has consisted of her waiting on him to make the choices that are needed. Stepfather, moving to Brazil. Why would she put herself in a position where she's with a guy where she has to wait? And also, let's not forget, she left Brazil to come to the UK for however long she's been in the UK to pretty much see where this relationship can go. In that time, that means she has left her kids motherless in Brazil. Now, I'm not calling her out for obviously leaving her kids motherless, because obviously she's got a big family and her kids can be completely fine. But of course, you know, she made the choice to leave her kids behind for a few months, I'd imagine, okay? And that is a big choice for any mother to make, all right? Or any parent, should I say, for the matter, to make. But she made that choice. And it's weird to me that she made that choice for a guy that she had to fly to the UK to basically pretty much try and convince him that Brazil is the place to be, and also basically convince him that, hey, you need to be a stepfather to my kids. That is weird to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would she want to be with somebody like that? That's the part where I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? You see what I'm saying? Well, let me know your thoughts down below, you know what I mean? And, about that situation. But nonetheless, though, Finn decides to propose again.
Will you marry me?
Surely you can see what I mean by his clothes.
Yes, I will, but you're going to move to Brazil. Yes.
Well, so here's the thing, of course. She says yes, but again, though, the condition has not changed. I only marry you only if you move to Brazil. I mean, let's just say he said, no, I won't move to Brazil. So that means she made the trip for nothing. A whole trip from Brazil to the UK, left the kids behind to basically convince a guy that he must move to Brazil for them to get married. So that's just weird to me. A part of me really hopes that it's just a part of the storyline, do you know what I mean? And that's that. But either way, though, the whole thing is just crazy to me. But I really do hope that it does work out, because end of the day, she's got kids in her life and she's only going to bring trauma to them if things don't work out between her and Finn. Now, don't get me wrong, and granted, a lot of the times people can meet somebody and things can still not work out and it can affect the children, right? But obviously, but usually that depends on how you met that person. Obviously, if you meet someone and everything is genuine, everything makes sense, but then somewhere down the line, things just don't work out. It is what it is. You couldn't prevent it. But when you're in a situation where it seems if you could have prevented that potential trauma, well then why not avoid it? And at the end of the day, the whole relationship with Finn is one of those relationships where you look at it, you're thinking, you definitely could have prevented bringing this man into the life of your kids, considering that he's never respected them, pretty much. Do you see what I'm saying? Either way, though, let me know what your thoughts are, please. Let's move on.
They're a lovely couple and very handsome together, and they're lovely.
Thank you.
And if they did get married, I bet their wedding would be lovely.
We did, actually.
Oh, you're married?
Yeah, we got married.
Yeah, so obviously when it comes to these two themselves in particular, I just wanted to show that obviously these two are now in a position where they're now married. Pretty much. And now I forgot what their name is, so that's it, Marco and Sarah in a nutshell. Yeah, I just thought I'd share. Yeah, they're married now and everything's happy as Larry. And also when it comes to Mate and Shannon as well, to be fair, they're not married. Wait, are they married? I don't think they're married just yet, but they're also having a very good relationship. But nonetheless, though, let's move on to the next couple.
Banned from going to Turkey. I've been threatened with a fucking divorce.
Yeah. If you came one more time, I will divorce you.
I mean, to be fair, the last time we saw them on screen, they did agree that she will no longer come to Turkey because they need to use that money to save for him to come to the UK. If she's obviously not respected that, I can understand why he's obviously upset about it. But does he have to go as far as saying that I'm banning you from Turkey, otherwise I'll divorce you? That is definitely an extreme. But at the same time, though, it shows that clearly he feels as if that she doesn't respect him. So therefore, he's trying to force her to respect him by giving her these rules, these ultimatums. And if you're gonna be in a position where you have to give ultimatums to get someone to respect you, that's just not good business. It's not good business at all.
Waste on that immature behaviour.
But what if he's thinking you're being immature because you're not sorting out the visa? You said yourself you spent the money several times. A wife.
Well, he needs to start acting like a husband then, doesn't he?
The back and forth is crazy business. I mean, end of the day, you know, if she really wants, I mean, it's clear that moving to Turkey isn't going to happen. So I don't understand why it's so hard for her to just be patient. You know what I mean? Like, you know, isn't it? Obviously, with her, she's got an issue with attention. You know, obviously, a part of her love language, you know, her love language is probably, I would say her love language is probably words of affirmation with a combination of physical touch. And I think, I would say no. I'm going to say her love language is probably a combination of words affirmation as well as also acts of service. But I'm going to say acts of service is probably the primary one, because obviously for her, we know that the relationship problems that they have is that he's always gaming and therefore he's giving her less attention. No, my bad. Sorry, I do apologize. Quality time is definitely her primary love language. And because he's not giving her quality time, followed by the acts of service of showing that, that is the problem. So because he's not tapping into her love language of quality time, as well as that acts of service, this is what's happening now. She's obviously frustrated, she's upset. And because, of course, whenever she's trying to ring him and he's not answering his phone because he's too busy gaming, that's why she's like, well, if I need to see him, then I'm going to have to just go there because he's not doing what he needs to do to make me happy when we are at a distance. So there is that part. But either way, though, you know, she knows what she knows what she signed up for.
To her. No, just.
What?
I already give her everything.
Like what? Like what?
You say every...
Look at
Love, attention, ring, marriage, wedding,
attention.
family.
So that's why when she goes attention, out of all the things he says, she's attention, quality time, he's not giving it to her. So therefore she's acting out. Doesn't give her reasons. I mean, it doesn't mean her acting out is granted, but we know why.
What attention?
Is it in my game?
Yeah, exactly.
I just
It's
want...
just the hobby.
Ali, I just want to confirm what you're saying.
Fingers that game more time he's fucking fingered me.
Sorry, that. Woo! 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 Yeah, that comment was wild.
Right.
I'm not going outside. I'm not having a date with the girls or something. And my work, just literally just imagine. People are in front of me trying to flirt with me. Thousands girls coming, and I just saying everyone no, and I just...
It's crazy because obviously for him, he's basically justifying the fact that he's saying, listen, the fact that I play games rather than entertain other women is actually a good thing. So you should appreciate the fact that I'm a gamer. I mean, listen, he's got a point, but he hasn't got a point, because at the end of the day, you're married now and you're still going to have to fulfill other duties that you need to make in a marriage. And one of those duties to your wife is giving her attention. You are at a long distance relationship. You're not making her feel wanted. You're making her feel like as if she's only a second priority to you, that she's second best to a game. So therefore, at the end of the day, because you do not live together and you do not see each other pretty much, this is why she ends up behaving the way she's behaving, because of course she wants your bloody attention to make sure that she knows that you are still obviously interested in her, you still want to be with her, and you're still and that she is on your mind. So the fact that you aren't able to fulfill that little bit of quality time that she requires from you is actually crazy business. So right now her quality time love language has been activated. You see what I'm saying? Now bear in mind, obviously there's 5 love languages. We all have all the traits, but some of them are our primary ones. You know what I mean? And obviously in this situation here, the quality time one is what has been activated in her, and that's why she's crashing out. It's crazy business.
Giving all the attention to my wife. Game?
No, all I get from you is good morning, how are you? Did you sleep good? Sometimes I don't even fucking get that.
No,
That's not good.
in only one thing I doing is a gaming.
Yeah, but it's an addiction. You need to get rid of it. You're
You feel like you've gone for a change. Do you think that maybe Ali could grow and go through this journey in time?
Yeah, well, first of all, you seem like a really happy couple.
Oh, God.
Context is a big thing here. Obviously, Sam had a lot of things to say about Finn's relationship and Sandra's relationship. She called their relationship boring. You know what I mean? And obviously Finn was just, digging back pretty much by being sarcastic. And that's why the host clearly was like, oh, okay, never mind. Wrong person to go to. But anyway, let's continue.
You've given me the commitment if I come back over there for holiday, we get divorced. So what if I said to you, quit your gaming then? There's your ultimatum. Are you going to do it?
To get a life. This is the whole point.
No. Are you stopping the gaming or not? Give me the answer now. Be the answer.
I'm not gonna just...
Fuck you.
I'm not
Sam,
gonna...
fuck you.
Oh shit, was that?
I mean, listen, she had every right to ask that question. You're asking me to stop buying flights to come and see you, because if I do, then you're gonna divorce me. But yeah, if I did the same thing to you, what would the energy be? Clearly shows me that, when it comes to these two, their priorities are in the wrong... Well, I'm going to say that his priorities are definitely in the wrong place, but I'm going to say for herself... that's just a whole different ballgame, isn't it? But we'll get into it.
I ringed. Off the floor.
Right. Because there's a few people here that's saying they think this is just a big show. All this drama is just for entertainment.
I mean, Ali obviously said, no, this is not for show. This is obviously how things really are between us two. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I do like the fact that I was asked because, to be honest with you, a lot of the time we assume that there's a lot of people on 90 Day Fiancé in the US versions that are doing things for show, and none of them have actually ever been called out at the tail or at least on screen. So, to be fair, I do appreciate that question actually being brought to the table. But nonetheless, though, Ali said, nah, this is not for show. This is it. You know, this is where things are going to be. But this is what this tells me. This tells me that there is a potential chance that we may end up seeing Ali and Sam back again for another season of 90 Day Fiancé following season 5, whenever that gets released next year. Usually I'm against seeing couples again, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind it because I find Ali hilarious, to be fair with you. So I wouldn't mind seeing them again for another season, to be honest with you. But hey, whether that happens or not is here or there. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys in the Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.